The LSU Tigers starting the new year blasting Purdue in the Citrus Bowl, creating momentum and energy for a new season. Since then, the Tigers have watched their peers on campus reach the top of the mountain with a pair of national championships, making LSU fans wonder if a Tiger trifecta in less than 12 months is possible.
I got big dreams, I want big rings. Ball so hard, they should put me in the Hall of Fame. I make big moves, I make big plays. I ain't stopping till the whole world know my name. I got big dreams, I want big rings. Ball so hard, they should put me in the Hall of Fame. I make big moves, I make big plays. I ain't stopping till the whole world know my name.
We've returned to Orlando to kick off a highly anticipated year with a massive season opener. Live from the Sunshine State, it's Unleash the Roar. Welcome to Camping World Stadium, where they're closing in on a sold-out crowd of 63,000 to see number 5 LSU take on number 8 Florida State Sunday night. The Tigers coming off a 10-win season, which was capitalized by blasting Purdue in this same stadium in the Citrus Bowl. Now they indeed have aspirations to not only win the SEC, but make it to the college football playoff. We have so much planned for you in the next half hour. We start things off with the footnotes you need to know about your 2023 LSU Tigers. LSU has a talented veteran quarterback capable of making electric plays in Jaden Daniels, and that's exciting. But LSU wants more than 17 touchdown passes from Daniels this season. If he won't chunk it deep, we know Garrett Nussmeier will, as LSU has a tremendous 1-2 punch at QB. The wide receivers are deep, led by Malik Neighbors, and there are high hopes for Aaron Anderson, who has returned to Louisiana. There are 8 scholarship running backs, with the big offseason pickup being Logan Diggs from Notre Dame. Meanwhile, Noah Cain is perhaps ready to take that next step. The offensive line is much more solidified and has reinforcements in true freshman Lance Hurd and Maryland transfer Mason Lunsford. Defensively, the pickup of Oregon State linebacker Omar Speights is huge, with LSU planning to make their wrecking machine Harold Perkins a more complete player. Mason Smith won't play this weekend, but eventually he will, with more depth to help him on the defensive line. The secondary is LSU's biggest question mark. Will they hold up? And a very concerted effort has been put into improving the special teams, which was the team's biggest weakness a season ago. One of LSU's top leaders this year will be sophomore Emory Jones, who of course played for the Catholic High Bears. Now, as you'll see in this piece, he loves his mother, but at 6'6", 325 pounds, it may not be a good idea to call him a mama's boy.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's the Sunday before the big LSU season opener, and Emory Jones is taking a break to visit with his family.
Fried jalapenos, gotta go on that big 50 burger.
His mother, Tanika, can cook just about anything, but on this occasion, she's going with Emory's tried and true favorite, the Big 50 burger.
Nothing like mom's cooking at all. It's all made from love.
So this brings back memories right now?
So many. After a hard-fought win with Catholic, come home knowing I got a burger made for me. It made me feel better. Like I wasn't even hurting after the games. I knew I had this big old burger waiting on me.
They have a mother-son relationship that I feel like is one of the best I've ever seen. And, you know, I see it firsthand. I mean, I go to their house on Thanksgiving, and she's at our apartment bringing food and always coming over.
She made me. It's my backbone for sure. You know, whenever I do something wrong, she's going to be there to tell me. Whenever I do something good, she's going to tell me. You know, I feel like she's the one who keeps me humble, grounded, you know, good or bad. She's always going to be there for me, and, you know, I never have doubt with that.
Mom has raised quite a son. As a true freshman, Emory was starting on the offensive line by his 3rd game.
Exciting, but nervous. A lot of times I would be like, oh, Lord, you know, them some big boys, you know? And people will say, yeah, your kid is big too.
Emory's LSU teammates and coaches are like his extended family. There's his brother in the trenches, Will Campbell.
We lean on each other for everything.
Campbell and Emery came to LSU together in the same class, and many expect them to leave together as high NFL draft picks.
Listen, I went over there one day, and you know, they lived together, and EJ wasn't home. Will answered the door for me, and he was like, what y'all doing? You know, that's just Will. You know, him and EJ are so close, and I'm so thankful for the brotherhood that they have with one another.
Every step of the way he was with me, and every step of the way for him, I was with him. And, you know, he told me after he was rewarded with the number 7, he told me, he was like, thank you, dog. I couldn't have done it without you. And, you know, I feel like any accomplishment that I have or, you know, anything like that, I would tell him the exact same thing.
Then there's Emory's positions coach, Brad Davis.
He's like another father to me, you know. Along the way, I had a whole bunch of coaches who kind of helped and stepped in and kind of helped play that father role for me, and I feel like Coach Davis has done the same thing.
Emory wishes his real father was here today. Unfortunately, that's not possible.
He has some health issues, and he just had a heart attack and passed. Super Bowl Sunday, 2011, and he was 40. Initially, you know, being 5, I don't think he really grasped the concept of his dad had passed. I think it was a couple years later when he just really broke down one day out of the blue. You know, he really broke down, and then he understood, you know, at that time, Dad's not coming back.
Then it kind of, I feel like it fueled a fire, it fueled passion in me to, you know, make it in what I was doing and be successful in what I was doing. So I feel like it did nothing but fuel me from that point on once I kind of realized it was real. His
dad played basketball, and we were cleaning out his closet, getting him ready to go to college, right? Pulled out his dad's old jersey, because we kept a lot of his clothes when he passed, like stuff I wanted to hang on to, and pulled the jersey out, and it was 50. And I was like, oh my God. I said, EJ, look. And he came in, he was like, that's my dad's jersey. He was like, it's a sign, it's a sign. And I was like, you are correct. It's a sign that your dad is always around. One day his dad and his Uncle Love was talking when I found out I was having a boy. And he said, my son is going to play for LSU. We're going to watch him on the 50-yard line. And so actually when he made that tackle for Mississippi State, he was on the 50-yard line. And I mean, his Uncle Lud really felt, you know, he got emotional about it, just remembering his dad.
Make my dad right, make him proud in every way I can. Thank you.
All right, I think I can smell an NIL deal for the Big 50 burger. Tanika was nice enough to make me one. I give it 100 out of 100. John Eads, the newest member of our WAFB sports team, joins us live from Orlando, coming up. Welcome back to Orlando. The newest member of the WAFB sports team, John Eads, joins me now. And John, there's an old saying, you can't run unless you have the horses.
That's true. I've heard that one. And that's what LSU is kind of taking from a football standpoint. But they don't want just any horses leading this football team. They want Louisiana horses. And since Brian Kelly has come to LSU and taken over this program, he's really made it the strategy from the recruiting standpoint, staying in state, keeping Louisiana kids home, and we've already seen the results pay off a little bit the past couple of years.
If you're going to win at LSU, you've got to lock up the state.
It still per capita produces the NFL talent.
Second-year LSU head coach Brian Kelly understood the assignment from day one.
Coach Kelly was adamant on his first day on the job, meeting with myself and John Randall Belton, we would lock this state down. When you bring in players from the state, it means something to wear this logo.
Just ask Garrett Nussmeier.
This is where I want to be. My roots are in this state. This is my home, and it means something to me to represent LSU and to represent this state and these fans.
Players like Nuss are littered all over Louisiana, so the objective for the recruiting staff is to keep that talent home.
When you wear this logo, you have an obligation to our high school coaches, the high school players, the high schools in this state to bring those players here. There is a track record of great success with Louisiana high school players, guys who go on to the next level, who earn second contracts, and there's no reason to go anywhere else.
And so far, that plan has come to fruition.
If you look at this current recruiting class, the average distance of a player from this entire class we have currently committed isn't over 300 miles away from this campus. That's by design. Those players, by and large, they pan out, they hit.
I'll take a 3-star defensive back from any part of Louisiana over a high 4-star kid from Tennessee or any other state. You know, there's little pockets in Louisiana where these national recruiting analysts never go.
But it takes more than just raw abilities to play for Brian Kelly.
What has been so neat about this process, specifically under Coach Kelly, is so much of it is traits over talent. We're going to get elite players here. We're going to find the guys that are just exceptional athletes. Who are the exceptional people? That's really the charge from Coach Kelly. You can get a phone call at any moment from a five-star prospect who says, hey, I want LSU to recruit me. I want to be about this. Well, if we don't feel we have a strong relationship with that individual, especially now with the way college football is, you know, that could be the wrong relationship to have.
Now, if you pass all the tests and are offered by Coach Kelly, it should be received with great pride.
When he puts his stamp of approval on a kid, not only is it one of those situations where he believes you can help us here, you have the ability most likely to go to the NFL. He has a track record in finding talent, identifying talent that has next level ability.
Locking the gate around the state of Louisiana seems to be the approach for LSU when it comes to high school recruiting, and the staff is taking the same approach when it comes to the transfer portal, a place that LSU has dipped into and grabbed some talent from in the past.
Louisiana obviously is where it's where it's made for Frank Wilson and underneath Brian Kelly, and they want to get those guys home. That's why they hit in the portal and they're bringing Louisiana kids back from other programs, kids that maybe didn't get an offer while they're in high school, and then you can go back after they produced and fill in the spots where you need be.
If we have the opportunity to bring somebody back home, that's the plan, you know, and hopefully moving forward, we don't have to bring people home. We can just keep them home coming out of high school and come straight to LSU.
Well, that plan has quickly gone into effect, Jacques. Looking ahead to next year's recruiting class, the 2024 cycle, LSU has 8 of the top 10 prospects in the state of Louisiana already on board, and they could add to it, too, before signing day.
All right, love to hear it. And a couple of guys who we covered on Sportsline Friday night who were local, caught lots of passes. We'll take a look at them coming up after the break and trying to make their third year a big one.
Thanks, Greg.
Welcome back to Camping World Stadium, where offensive coordinator Mike Denbrock hopes his LSU Tigers light up the scoreboard against Florida State here Sunday night. And when it comes to the position of wide receiver through the years, they've often been labeled as prima donnas. They talk a lot, they're chatterboxes. But when it comes to these two guys, well, that is hardly the case. Brian Thomas and Chris Hilton are the two wide receivers who may combine for more catches than words spoken. They don't have a ton to say, or at least in Hilton's case, not much to text either.
He'll just give me a thumbs up, or give me a hi, or give me a hey, or give me a no. If I ask him a question, no. It's always a one-word answer.
That's right. That's all we get. Oh, I get this one a lot. That emoji. I'm like, Christopher, really?
But ever since they were little guys, their athleticism has done the talking. Hilton may have been born premature at just 3 pounds and 7 ounces, but by age 3, he was swinging a big stick.
We had a wiffle ball bat, you know. I was pitching to him, and he hit it on top of the house. And I said, back up, son. And so I pitched it to him again, and he hit it again on top of the house. He was just standing there smiling. So I went in the house. I said, Cindy, you got to come see this. I said, back up, son. He hit it again on top of the house. That's okay. We might have something here.
And for Thomas, it was apparent he had speed at an early age, sprinting everywhere in sight.
He's just a quiet little mild-mannered kid, that's all. The same little kids run up and down the hall.
As they grew into their high school years, both soared on the basketball court. Thomas was actually the MVP of the state championship game as a freshman, coming off the bench to help Walker win the title. Hilton would elevate to become a state champion in the high jump and the 400 meters. But football would be the calling for both. As a sophomore in the state championship against West Monroe, Hilton and the Broncos trailed by 4 points with about 2 minutes left.
I'm sitting next to my dad. And I said, Dad, second place isn't that bad. And Dad was like, yeah, they did well. They did well.
And I put my head down, and I just said, Lord, Christopher is about to be the highlight of this game.
That's when a 3rd and 10 play call changed his life forever.
And when I looked up, he was running down the field. Great, great, great memory. But he had already had 3 offers from Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. We were just waiting on LSU.
We're coming back home that morning after the game, and it was about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. phone goes off. It's Coach Brew. He said, Chris, I just got off the phone with Coach O, and he said, we got to add a Hilton kid. Got to add a Hilton kid. I said, okay, Coach, I got you.
After skipping football his freshman season, Brian Thomas immediately posting staggering numbers as a sophomore, but it wasn't until Nick Saban offered a scholarship that Thomas truly believed in his football future.
Yes, it gave him a lot of confidence, and I think after that visit, it made him practice harder, work harder, and play harder.
But he didn't go there.
No, he didn't.
Faith is a big part of both players' lives and has likewise been tested since arriving at LSU. A knee injury kept Hilton hobbled as a freshman. Finally, on the last play of the season, he caught an 81-yard touchdown.
It was about time.
But instead, there would be more time on the sideline. Another knee injury combined with a bad shoulder would limit Hilton and then take him off the field completely after just 4 games as a sophomore.
I was worried because it was back-to-back, but I just told him to pray. Prayer changes things, and keep your head up. His dad always say, keep chopping wood. You know, things get better.
Thomas, on the other hand, has been blessed to stay in the action and be a solid contributor during his first 2 seasons as a Tiger. A touchdown reception at Alabama during his freshman year was an exciting moment. But last summer, Keyshawn Thomas, a cousin that had been like a brother to Brian, was murdered. He was just 20 years old.
Brian never really said a whole lot about it, but I know that it really did hurt him because they were very close. I think he kind of held a lot of it in, and he told me, like, his sophomore year, he struggled a little bit with football, like for practice and stuff, and he would always say, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's going on. But I think it affected him more than he thought it did. He has a picture, a chain with his picture on it.
If you ever see Brian's name, hashtag such and such, it say LLK, long live Keyshawn.
I think it's just pretty much his faith. He offered up to God, telling God thank you, you know, for allowing him to score another touchdown. Because I always tell him, pray before you start, pray during, pray after. Thank God for everything that you do, because he's the one that gives you the talent to be able to do the things that you're doing.
But now comes a new season with new opportunities on a talented team with high hopes. The 3rd year will hopefully be the charm for both Brian Thomas and Chris Hilton alike.
I think this year is going to be his year. I think he's been humble. He's allowed the ones ahead of him to do what they need to do to get to the next level, and still made an impact on the team for himself as well. So I think this year is going to be a great, solid year for him.
He's healthy. His mind is in a good place. And you just talk to him, he exudes confidence. So I think we're ready.
Now, Florida State's got plenty of wide receivers as well. John Eads joins me after the break to talk about those Seminoles and their offensive attack. Welcome back to Orlando. We've been talking all about LSU, but John Eads, Florida State isn't coming here to lose a game.
Did you say that last year, too? Because they didn't go to New Orleans and lose the game either.
Block that extra point.
Yeah, crazy game. 24-23, of course, the final score. And I think this year's game is going to be so similar to what last year's was, maybe as close as well, because this Florida State team brings everybody back, as does LSU. But look, I thought LSU contained Florida State's run game really well last year, actually, and it's a Florida State team that loves to run the football, but the difference in the game was 2 deep balls from Jordan Travis to Pokey Wilson, who doesn't play for FSU anymore, but they've still got a lot of weapons that can really make LSU pay if there's a one-on-one matchup and they convert. Johnny Wilson, a guy to look out for. He's 6'7" at wide receiver. Also, Keon Coleman, who is from Louisiana, transfers in from Michigan State. They've also got Trey Benson, Lawrence Toafili at that running back position. So weapons on weapons on weapons. But on the LSU side of things, that offensive line was a big question mark last year for this team. That's solidified. All 5 starters are back, and they really did struggle in that first game. I mean, the first play of the game, Jared versus Will Campbell, they almost had a sack. Daniels was running for his life. But, as I said, that offensive line, all back this year, should make time for Daniels, Malik Neighbors, all the other weapons to make plays.
Great stuff, John Eads. Coming up after the break, an exclusive look at our 9 Sports documentary, Cecil versus the Diesel.
To Collins, and Collins goes around the far side again and breaks it across the middle, down the far sidelines. He may take it the distance. Collins has busted it, and Collins is gone.
5-10, locked in, he's off and running.
He's the most impressive running back I've ever seen in person. Modern day Earl Campbell. Best running back I've seen.
This is a special back, Cecil Collins.
That guy was everything and some.
Collins breaks it up the middle, and he will score. Wonder how long it's going to take this stadium to be filled with 34 jerseys. Collins is slow to get up off the turf. He may be hurt over there, Larry.
He was the guy that could have been.
He had everything. He made mistakes, and it cost him.
I cried so much my shirt was totally wet.
You just saw one of the greatest running backs probably ever, and it was a blink of an eye and it was over.
Our documentary on Cecil Collins, Cecil versus the Diesel, airs October the 15th on WAFB, live streaming as well on WAFB.com. Good night, everyone, and go Tigers.